All right. Welcome to Sunday night, where your Tampa Bay Rays are winners of 15 of the last 16 and currently have the best record in all of baseball. The Lightning win their first round matchup and are on to face the Canes. Game one is going on in the background right now. And we've got Hurricane Preparedness, man event style, and your new favorite segment, You Can't Fix Stupid. I am B-Love with Pooh Bear and the Chief, and you are turned in to the man event. What, no hats?
I know, I threw you off, man, because there was no change today.
No hats, no
There's always
changes.
something.
I know, right now I don't know what to do. Well, I guess welcome to another episode of the Man Event, Memorial Day weekend.
You know, he used to throw us off when he would do the crazy stuff.
I know.
And
Now I'm
we're
thrown off that he didn't.
Right, we're so
I'm like
It's part of my
waiting.
master plan.
I'm like sitting here waiting.
Yeah.
wow.
So gentlemen, what do you say? How's the weekend been?
It's been a pretty good weekend. It's Dr. and Mrs. Pooh Bear's birthday, so today was a nice little weekend away for the night.
You know, this is one of the great American holidays, Memorial Day weekend. It kicks off the summer. The weather's nice. Everybody gets outside, but I think it's important that everybody takes just a moment, and remembers, the real meaning of this day. Just reflect on it for just a moment. You remember that, for example, June 6, 1944, the men on Omaha Beach had their day so that we could have our day on the beach today. I think that, there is something about this that I think people are trying to be respectful, and it always kind of rubs me a little bit wrong. They say, hey, they laid down their life, so that we can, hey, those guys didn't lay down anything. Those guys fought, they were out there, they were trained, they were armed, and the enemy is out there, firing back. And that takes courage too. I think just to lay down, that doesn't take courage. These guys fought, they had courage, they went out there and they lost. They were unlucky and lost. But remember, these guys, they were sons, they were daughters, they were fathers, they were mothers. They had everything to live for. They were all young. There's no such thing as an old soldier on a battlefield. It doesn't happen. So these were young people. And, I enjoy the weekend as much as everyone else does, but hey, just give them a moment to reflect.
Yeah, I think Chief, to that point, we just got done seeing a lot of high school students graduate from high school, right? And there were a ton of those high school students graduating from high school who went on to World War II. And to your point, a lot of them lost their lives on Omaha Beach.
Yeah, they did.
Nothing, young guys, right? Young guys.
And Memorial Day is not just about World War II and D-Day. It's about any soldier who's ever died in the battlefield. That's what it's for. To remember those soldiers, men, women, anyone in uniform that has passed away during conflict on the battlefield. That is what this day is for. Veterans Day is for the people like the Chief who have served and are no longer serving. We honor them. You have Armed Forces Day, which are honoring the people that are currently serving. And then, of course, Memorial Day memorializes the men and women who have died during battle. John, one of our commenters, coming in with his sentiments there. So thank you, John.
Yeah.
All right. So, Chief, you look like you're about to say something. You're up. Okay.
I'm off my soapbox. Let's move on, man.
With you, I always got to check, because that soapbox goes deep and wide.
It does sometimes. It does.
Which we won't get into it until maybe later in the show, but we had the ultimate I'm getting old conversation with the Chief this week. We'll save that for the end. Pooh Bear calling him out.
Tell me you're old without telling me you're old.
Tell me you're old without telling me. That happened. That was pretty funny. So, listen, gentlemen, on Tuesday, hurricane season starts.
Yeah.
Right. And being in Florida,
season.
Yeah, it's our second season, Pooh Bear.
Yeah, well, we have summer season and hurricane season.
No winter.
That's all we have. That's all we have in Florida.
Yeah. So I figured we'd have a little bit of fun talking about hurricane preparedness. So my question to you, gentlemen, is hurricanes coming down. Which, hey, here's a great thing. Hurricanes are not good in most cases, right? But one of the benefits is we see it coming. Right, it's not like a tornado that just pops up, boom.
Yes.
Or an earthquake. This is a natural disaster we see coming. So naturally, we all hit the grocery stores. So my question is, what's your hurricane snacks? What's your hurricane snacks look like?
Okay. Just snacks? If it's just snacks, it's going to be Cheetos and maybe some Little Debbie's.
No, what's your go-to snack when you? I'll tell you, like when you hit the grocery store. When you hit the grocery store, what's that first aisle that you go to right away? Because I know what mine is. Because I want to make sure that we got it. You're going to the meat. I'm not going to the meat section, man.
Are we talking about hurricane preparedness, or are we talking about overall section? I go
hurricane. Okay. You're making the trip to the grocery store because the hurricane's coming.
Yes.
What's your first stop when you get there? I get you, man. Mine is aisle number 8. That's the pasta aisle, but specifically, I'm there specifically. Listen, I have thought this out. Okay, I am there specifically for the Velveeta mac and cheese. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh, I know why. Go ahead.
You know why.
I think I know why.
You know why? Because the only thing you have to do for that is to boil the pasta. You just boil it, and then you unwrap the that little aluminum foil thing. You don't need butter. You don't need milk.
Cheese is already in the bag.
It's already in the bag. It's not great mac and cheese, but I'm gonna tell you what, it's way better than those ramen noodle things.
Works in the pitch. Oh, John says he's going straight for the alcohol.
He's going straight for the alcohol. Yeah,
right. That's aisle 13.
That's probably yeah. John is definitely a true Floridian. So mine. So I'm probably going down the same aisle, Chief.
Yeah.
This is going to blow you away. I'm going for the Chef Boyardee.
Oh, dude, that's solid. That is a solid.
I want the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s with meatballs. I want the beanie weenies. You know what I'm saying? I want SpaghettiOs with Franks.
Now, what is your thought process behind that? Why? Because I do something similar, but I think I have a unique thought process behind it. But why do you get that?
Okay, well, the thought process behind it is obviously if we lose power and stuff like that, cooking becomes a little bit more difficult. These are non-perishable in cans, right? Apparently the Canes just scored based on Pooh Bear's record. Yeah. So we're at 1-1. Yeah. They're non-perishable, so I can keep that for a very long time. If I don't eat it during that hurricane, I'm probably going to eat it for the next one. But as long as you have a grill, even without power, as long as you have a grill ready to go, boom, you can heat up some ABCs and some 1, 2, 3s.
There you go.
So I do the same thing, and part of my reasoning is because of that as well. The grill is always able to work propane and or
charcoal. Yeah.
But that's also something my kids will eat. So I kind of hand me down that stuff. Like, that's our emergency prep. This is what we're eating to survive if we lose power. But in a few weeks, when it's no longer a threat, you're eating this for lunch.
Right. Which is I don't have any problems with that.
And let me give a pro Florida tip while we're here. Someone that is in an industry that gets bombarded by usage during pre-hurricanes, right? You will not, and I'll say will not, you have a 98% chance of not losing your water, okay? Do not hoard water during a hurricane emergency. The only way you're going to lose water is if a tree uproots your water line or the water line that feeds your neighborhood or home. And if it does, we're very quick to repair that.
Dude, tell me that's a personal guarantee from the water guy.
I said 98% sure not to. So what happens is people go out and buy tons and tons of bottled water, and that's the first thing to leave the shelves. fill up your bathtub, put bags of ice or bags of water in the freezer and freeze them. You will have ice. When you lose power, take it out. You have water. You don't need to go and hoard the water.
Cooper, I'm standing in Publix. I'm
talking about a soapbox.
It was a couple years ago, right when Irma was about to hit, like a day or two before Irma, and I'm just jonesing through just to see if there's anything I forgot. And I come to the water aisle, and there is an older woman standing there crying. It's empty. I mean, it's absolutely empty. There's not even a can of water on the thing. Is can of water a thing? Bottle of water.
Yeah, Budweiser actually makes it in cans. But...
Oh, there you go. So anyway, she is in tears, and I said, "Ma'am,
flavored like beer."
I said, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "There's no water left on the shelf." And I said, "Okay." I said, "How about, do you have pitchers at home or pots?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "Well, go home, put some water in your pots, and it's free. And then put a lid on them if you want to put a lid on them, But that's all you have to do." And she looked at me like I had just solved some sort of world problem. And the light went off. She stopped crying, and then she went. She might have gone to the Tupperware aisle. I don't know, to buy pictures. I don't know what she did. But I said, "There you go, man."
It's insane.
So the 10 cases of bottled water I currently have in my garage. You're calling me a jerk over that?
No, hold on now. If you have it, hold on a second. If you have it and you're rotating it as a normal process, continue doing that, right? So that's kind of what we do. We buy 2 or 3 cases. We go through one, and the other 2 are going to be for emergency purposes. Okay, yeah. You just go through. Everything I just said does not apply to you if you're on a well. Okay, if you live on a land that has well, and you rely on that well with power to supply you water, you need to be buying bottled water, freezing your water, filling your bathtub up, those kinds of things, because you will lose power and you will need the water. But if you're on, I'm not going to say my utility's name, but my utility, you're not going to lose water. Okay, if you do, you get bigger problems. I'll put it that way. You don't have a house if you lose water.
Hey, we still have a protocol in the fire department that says, when the hurricane gets to like 1 or 2 days out, we have to flush the tanks on the fire trucks. These tanks haven't been flushed in years, and we're gonna go to the hydrant and we're gonna fill them back up.
Probably because of that.
I think that we're gonna drink the water out of the fire. That's not gonna happen, man. We are not. And the only thing I might use that water for is if I have to flush a toilet or something, and if for some reason I don't have water to do that. But I don't need to flush. I don't need to rotate the water to do that out of the fire truck. No. I mean, it's water. I mean, that water's been rotated. Every time we get a fire, it winds up pumping it out and stuff. But
when the season comes upon us, every single time I go to the grocery store, I just buy 2 packs of water.
It's a good practice.
That's how I got to 10. So like this week, I have 6 to maybe 8 things of gasoline containers that I would use to fuel my generator. So this week, starting now, every time I go to the gas station, I'll fill one up. I'll keep it in my garage. Now, when hurricane season is over, glug, 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 that goes in the car. Right?
Yeah.
That goes in the car. So
no, those are good practices for just emergency preparedness, period. Right? Because hurricanes are a major emergency that we have, but it's not the only one. We could have an ice storm that affected Texas out of the blue in January, February. We could have,
that sounds about as likely to happen as a worldwide pandemic cutting down the world for an entire year.
Exactly. There's earthquakes happening south of here nowadays. There's of course you could have any kind of a tornadic activity from another
tornadic. He said tornadic.
I heard it. He's been watching the Weather Channel again. It's hey, I had an ice storm at my house today. I'm like, we're having a thunderstorm, and I'm like, what is going on here? I mean, it's violent, and of course we're used to severe storms, but this is loud. I opened the front door, dude. There's hail coming down. I mean, it's not a little bit of hail; it's a lot of hail. Next thing I know, my wife's yelling at me from the back porch, and she's like, the screen's gonna come down. I said, what are you talking about? Well, the screen over the pool is full of hail. She goes, it's gonna fall. I said, it's not gonna fall. You can lay on that, and it's not gonna come through.
Do you want to test that?
No. No, but
he said she could lay on it, not him. It's a big difference.
Someone else could lay on it.
All right, so here's Pooh Bear. You never shared with us what's your go-to for at the grocery store?
Kind of along the same lines, canned goods and pastas. Those are always good to have because if you're going to lose power, which is the major threat of any of these kinds of things, you're going to be without power. You're going to need to use your outdoor cooking equipment, your grill, to make your meals for the foreseeable future. The longest we've been without power, maybe a full day. Last, I think Irma last year or 2 years ago.
We were without power almost a week.
When were you without power? Almost a week, Chief.
I think it was Irma. We lost everything in our fridge and freezers, and and not Irma because we had a generator by Irma. It was that's what made me buy the generator.
So it's probably 04
maybe
with Charlie and all
somewhere
that.
on there.
Yeah.
So, but the reality is, I'll be at work. I don't have the choice to stay home and enjoy the luxuries. I've got to write out this. Well, hurricane parties and whatnot. Because that's all right. So here's the truth about hurricane season. We get a threat 4 or 5 days out. Everybody goes crazy, filling up their gas tanks and buying water for unnecessarily. Then you start talking about, is school in or out? School going to be going on? Is it going to be out? What are we going to do? Do I have to go to work? Does my wife have to go? Who's going to work? And then you get up until 24 hours before the storm. You're getting updates all the time. The thing is moving. We're all watching the spaghetti models. It's moving left and right. It's going to New Orleans. Nope. Now it's coming back down to the Bahamas. Nope. Now it's going up through Miami. Oh, nope. It's coming. You never know, right? It's going all kinds of crazy.
Spaghetti models. I love them.
So out of an abundance of precaution, all kinds of things get closed and canceled. Schools get canceled and postponed. Work gets canceled and postponed. You sit at home for a day and you get nothing but a few drizzles, sometimes just sunshine. We've had plenty of hurricane days that were nothing but sunshine.
T.S.G. might feel different about this. Where this is going.
Well,
He didn't do so well after the last one.
T.S.G. might feel a little different.
I don't know if he's back in his house yet or not. It's been almost a year now.
It's been almost a year.
I think they're just not. I think he said because he was doing last show he did from the house, but I don't know if he's sleeping.
All right, so just to be clear, when I go to the grocery store, though, I'm also going to get Oreos and combos, and lots of bags of potato chips and dip the bags of potato chips, and it's an excuse to just go a little crazy
and break your diet if you're on one.
All right, so let's wrap this up real quick and let's just go lightning round here. What is your number one hurricane preparedness item?
Headphones. So I'll be at work. So headphones, a little privacy, watch your favorite shows and whatever music.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're taking care of your family.
I don't have that choice. I can't. My job says I can't.
Hey, don't worry, family. I got headphones. Privacy. I got privacy.
Hey, there's times when she has to go to work because her school's a shelter. So there are times and occurrences where she has to report, and now we don't know what to do with the kids. So we shall see. So yeah, headphones for me.
Oh, headphone. Okay, portable air conditioner. Hurricane season is in the dead of summer.
Yes.
It's miserable. You guys know it. But the portable air conditioner has to be small enough to run on a generator. So the plan is
big enough to be effective.
Yeah, it's got to be big enough to be effective. So it goes in. Probably the master bedroom is where it's going to go. The kids can come in and put air mattresses on the floor. But we'll have one room that's at least comfortable. And so we can. There's a TV in there that we can run even if the cable's out. We have the HD antenna, I guess. Yeah, HD antenna is what it's called. We got that. We got enough power. It's not a huge generator, but it's enough to push the. And then you have to. But the thing is, you have to be careful. You have to rotate it through the refrigerator.
Yes, that's the main thing.
Yes,
your refrigerator, the food, and the freezers are number one priority because that is a huge expense if you lose your food.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what. I will sacrifice the food for a good night's sleep. Sorry, I just will, man. I will. I'm not alone either. Everyone in my family would do it too.
I don't know that there's any truth to this or not, but somebody told me recently, if you take the 220 plug on your generator and you plug it in to where your dryer is at, and you turn that on, that it would power your whole house. Not going to power your AC, but it would power your whole house.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I haven't had a chance to Google that since they told me that, but
so it would send power back to your
220 line.
Yeah, but it would go all the way back to the bar, to the bar. You would have to turn off the main breaker so you're not backfeeding onto the rest of the house and under the line. But the thing is, 220 is not infinite power either. You're not gonna, if you're gonna run too many things off of it, you're gonna wind up, flipping breakers and everything else. But even that, I mean, congratulations on having a generator that has a 220 outlet. Mine doesn't. I don't have that either, man. I'm just sorry.
Well, I guess that's my essential item, man.
There you go, your generator, man. That's why you got so many gas cans.
Yeah, well, the thing is like you never know how many you're going to need. So it's one of those things like, you're cruising around Lowe's or Home Depot, getting stuff to do, the tongue and groove ceiling in on your patio. Yes. And you're like, well, while we're here, let's just go ahead and pick up this 5-gallon bucket or this 5-gallon jug for gas. So I probably have more than I need.
Mm-hmm.
But let's hope.
And this is the tax-free weekend, I believe, for Florida to purchase hurricane supplies.
Really? On Memorial Day weekend, they do that?
I believe so.
Seems like a bad.
I thought I saw an alert come through Friday morning. But yeah, if it is, then yes, people are able to purchase.
Well, if it's tax-free weekend, you might find me buying one of those portable AC units here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a hurricane prep item.
Feels like it should be
a luxury. That sounds like a luxury item.
It should be. So, listen, let's switch gears and talk Major League Baseball here a little bit. Now, I want to take our fans back a couple of months to a certain someone on this show who called Tom Brady the Billy Goat. And pretty much from the time that he called Tom Brady the Billy Goat, the Buccaneers didn't lose another game.
Nope.
Including winning the Super Bowl. Well, this same gentleman gets on this show a number of weeks ago, has a number of very strong words to say against your Tampa Bay Rays. And lo and behold, here we are 2 weeks later, and we have won 15 out of the last 16 games. Have the best record in Major League Baseball. At the beginning of that run, we were in 4th place in the AL East.
What I've just heard you say is that I may be the greatest motivational speaker of all time. That's a great resume for me. I'm going to let you be my build-up guy, and we're going to go out there and make millions. Forget crypto and all that other stuff. We're just going to go. I'm going to go tear people down, and then they're going to build themselves up magically.
They just naturally figure it out.
They just respond. They just respond to criticism. Apparently,
say something
I just
bad
call
about
it like
the
I
Lightning.
see them.
Why is it now 2-1?
No, it's still 1-1, but they were just on the.
Well, dude, they definitely took Game 3 off. There's a lot of conspiracies.
That's the one T.S.G. went to.
Yeah, I know it's what TSG's not allowed to go.
I told him they won the other night, and he said on Facebook he congratulated the Lightning for advancing. I said thanks for not going to the game.
I saw that. But we're out of order. We're talking hockey.
Yeah. Sorry. We got to do. That's what we do. We just talk. Yes, the tie for the best record in baseball. The San Diego Padres also have the same record. What is it, 32-20? I think is the record
until tonight.
They lost this afternoon. So
they lost. Okay.
Yeah, there's only one game tonight. But yeah, the Rays are playing out of their minds right now. It's good baseball. They're just playing good fundamental baseball. They're not making a whole lot of mistakes. The hitters that need to hit are coming through. Austin Meadows is on a tear this weekend.
Dude.
Mike Zunino is playing. He's arguably the best catcher in baseball offensively right now. And you combine him with
nothing. He's playing part-time baseball, and he is the home run leader of all major league catchers. They're against full-time catchers. If he had every at-bat, if he played every game, or he's got as many at-bats, he could be double these guys.
Yeah, but at the same token, the guy's either a home run or a strikeout.
Yeah, well, hey, listen,
yeah,
he's
just
hitting
over
home
200.
runs, though. He's hitting home runs. So
and they're timely. So his home run today was a 2-run home run, so it was only on base. And I think the one on Thursday or Friday night was also a multi-run home run. So that's what you need. You know, you want your players that are going to hit with runners in scoring position. So I think it's fantastic. You know, it's good baseball. They're headed up to New York now to face the hated Yankees, who, you know, the Rays have essentially owned the Yankees the past 2 years. So
except I think we got swept up there the last time we were there. We did not play well the last time we were there, but yeah, historically over the last couple of years, we've owned them in New York.
That is our northern home.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Pooh Bear, you also, you know, you told us for a couple of weeks leading into this streak that, you know, getting back Ji-Man Choi was going to be a big deal. That dude's playing pretty good baseball too. He's hitting well. He's hitting for power. I mean, he's not hitting home runs, but he's hitting a lot of doubles, which the big guy like that, rounding first, headed towards second, I mean, you're hitting the ball pretty hard if you're making it in there, you know?
We were watching. He hit a double today, and he hit the top of the padding on the outfield wall. So it's really like a foot more, and it's home run. Yeah. So he's hustling for second. My wife said something about him being fluffy. She's like, "Oh, he's a fluffy fellow." That's G-Man. I'm like, I got to see what his batting right now.
Yeah, and he's, you know, when he first came back, his defense was struggling a little bit, but his glove's looking pretty good over there at first.
You got to stretch into it.
Yeah, you know, he's making some picks and he's doing well. I don't know, at 15 of the last 16, it makes you, you know, not as, you know, in a hurry to get up Wander Franco.
Right? Yeah, especially with as well as Taylor
Walls.
Is it Taylor Walls?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's playing well too.
He's playing remarkably. He's fantastic. That is a slick young man with his fielding.
Hey, a guy at work made a comment about Ji-Man Choi rounding bases the other day, and instead of saying you know, he's giving it the gas, he said it's like he's giving it the diesel. And I almost fell out of my chair laughing when he said that.
He's batting 342.
Yeah. I mean, the dude, he's playing really well.
I knew his average was high.
Listen, here on the main event, we bring you expert opinion.
This is it. Inside look.
And then you get, you know, the chief who just calls people garbage. And
boom, they explode.
You're welcome, by the way.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So
I did come up with a date, by the way. June. Oh crap! I forgot it already. I think it was June 26th was the date for Wander Franco for his Super 2 status to take place.
Okay.
So if anything, that's the day, sometime there or after that they would call.
So we got almost another month to go before we to see
so
him.
Anybody that's itching for him, just keep your drawers on.
Which is also going to put you right up against the trade deadline. Right. Typically, the trade deadline is fairly close to the Summer Classic, the All-Star Game, which is typically right around my birthday.
It's usually between the two of our birthdays.
It's something Major League Baseball gives me every year. For being a super fan. Hey, did you guys now at the beginning of the season, we all gave our bold predictions. And one of my bold predictions was that Ohtani from the Los Angeles Angels would win the American League MVP. He's the two-way guy, right?
Right.
Yep.
You know, pitches on Monday, plays first base or right field or whatever the rest of the week. I believe at one time he was tied for the lead in home runs and also, you know, pitching lights out. This guy misses a projected start this week because of traffic in Oakland. You know,
he's on the team bus. That's a great. It's not like you know, when I first heard the story, I'm thinking that the guy's coming from home.
Apparently, the Lightning scored.
Go ahead, Boomer. Tell us. Yeah,
get the goal in there.
Are loud.
Sorry, love it.
Who was it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Bradley Goodrow.
Okay.
All right. On a power play or non-power play?
It was. I believe it was a power play. I'm trying to focus on both of these things.
Yeah, I'm starting to question like how much attention this guy's paying to the show.
I know. I'm sorry.
Hey, let him watch the
playoffs,
game. It
man.
gives the rest of us a chance to talk. So.
Oh my gosh.
As you were saying, Chief.
You know, when I heard the story though, I thought the guy was coming from home. He overslept. I don't know, you know. And I'm thinking, you know, he's there's some sort of, you know, he's in trouble somehow for doing it. But no, he's on the team bus. And then they put him on the BART, which is the
area
regional
transit.
Yeah, mass transit. And I just make myself laugh sometime. I'm like, man, I hope he was in uniform. You know, I hope he's like he gets out there, he's got his knickers on, he's got his high socks, you know, and he's like, you know, some kid because like, hey man, you know, can you sign my card or something?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
No, they arrive to the ballpark just like not like anybody else, but they arrive, you know, in street clothes, and they walk in and get their locker, and then they change and all that stuff.
Not a Joe Madden team doesn't. Not a Joe Madden team.
No, well, on the road, you're right. They do all kinds of funky stuff.
Oh, do they still does he still do that? Like
I think that's just on the plane. I think that's just on the travel day.
That's on the travel day.
Yeah. You leave the stadium going to your next city. So you're just basically flying to the airport and then get to that hotel. They do some sort of funky, you know, dress up day or whatever. But yeah, so he gets all they stop and let him off the bus and tell him to take the light rail to get to the stadium because, you know, the starting pitcher for the day has a routine that he needs to get into.
Like typically for a 7 o'clock start, he'd probably be warming up by 4.
Oh, I'm guessing he's probably there before that to do some long toss and just kind of get mentally ready. There's probably a lot there's probably a lot of things you have to go through the game plan, the pitching plan, because you don't get the other team's lineup until late in the day. So the pitching coach is going to see that and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Our approach is going to be this.
And someone has to put the chicken bones in the locker. You know it. B-Love knows it.
Hey, Joe Boo.
This is a Major League reference?
Yeah.
That's a Major League reference. Oh, my goodness.
There you
Pooh
go.
Bear, come on, man.
I got it. I just normally it only does that when you're on a losing streak.
No, you do it every day, man.
We wear caps and sleeves in this league, Vaughn.
Must wake up bats. I get it.
That's probably one of the great. You know what? We got to have next week on this show. We need to have a conversation about the greatest baseball movies.
Oh, okay.
Moneyball.
But
I don't want to give it away now.
I just said next week.
Yeah, I know.
I've got my favorite, and it's probably not the same as you guys. Oh, we can do like a top. We can do like we did with Christmas. Do like a top 10 undisputed list.
Okay.
There's definitely 10 on the list.
I can do that. I'll put that together. Then you guys can come and tell me what kind of crap.
Make sure you make a note on your little pad that you got there.
Does the one with the girls count? Gina Davis, does that count?
Yeah. League of Their Own?
League of Their Own, yes. That's what
absolutely.
I'm trying to think of. Gina Davis, and was that Roseanne Barr that was in that? Or no?
No,
who was the other one?
Rosie O'Donnell.
And
Madonna.
And Tom Hanks.
And Darla Hooch.
Oh, no.
There's no crying in baseball.
Dude, Pooh Bear just rattled those off, man. I feel like you may have watched that last night.
No. Been a while.
And who is Darla Hooch? I don't even know who that is.
Darla Hooch is the ugly center fielder they got from one of the small towns to go to. She's just hideous, but she can hit like a monster. So there's a scene where they're introducing all the girls, and the whole idea is, you know, that this is in the 40s, so they're gonna doll this up and make the girls attractive. So they're showing Madonna and they're showing Rosie O'Donnell, which I find not attractive at all. Gina Davis, and they're like, you know, here's pretty I can't remember the characters' names, but they're laying out the names, and it's like a black and white thing. And then they finally get to Darla, and there's Darla Hooch, and she's way out in center field, like it's not a close up.
I don't remember that.
Wow, this is getting off the rails.
We have rails.
Oh,
Come on, this is what this show is. It's just us goofing around.
Just point of clarification. That's all I needed. You know, I needed to know that one was in the list. Okay.
All right. So in the same city, did you guys see Albert Pujols almost at a walk-off this week?
Good.
Almost.
Yeah.
That was an amazing catch that dude made.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And he was they just let go of their that was the Giants who were doing that. Surprising everybody with one of the best records in baseball as well. Okay, so up until last week, I think the Giants were in the first place in the NL West, which is where the Dodgers and the Padres play, who are two of the favorites.
Right now, the toughest division in baseball. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Normally it's the AL East, but it looks like the NL West might be putting in their bid for that. So anyway, the Giants had just gotten rid of their center fielder to have this guy play. I can't remember who it was, his name, but anyway, so he's like a kind of a not a favorite. And goes out there and just robs him.
Yeah, that was a great catch. But another even a better play this week was Javi Baez in that rundown. Dude hits a chopper, right? And to first base, and instead of like the first baseman simply needs to step on the bag, but instead Javi Baez stops at the baseline and waits for the guy to chase him.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassment to Major League Baseball.
Dude, all he needed to do was step on the bag.
That's it.
Now he was in front. So in the first baseman's defense, he was about 6 feet in front of the bag, up the line. Okay, so it's just a mental mistake that you can't make at this level. If you do, you don't belong at this level, right? So instead of taking the 2 steps back to step on the bag, he tries for a tag on Javi Baez and whiffs because Baez did all the old Matrix on him. As he's starting to run away from the first baseman, the runner who was on third for the Cubs says, well, I'm going to try to score, and does because of a late throw to home.
And then the catcher actually starts celebrating. He starts
running first because nobody's covering first.
And nobody's covering first, where the pitcher should have been.
Yes, but you don't really cover first base on a play like that. So you can kind of forgive the pitcher a little bit until he saw the rundown. It was just a mess. It was a mess. The Pirates need to be ashamed. They need a complete rework in their organization. It's bad. It's bad.
I would like to see a game between the Pirates and the Orioles.
Oof, I won't. I don't want to see that.
Someone has to win that.
Who would watch that?
It's like watching our old softball league team. You know, it was.
Man.
Dude.
It might be entertaining for those purposes because of the bad errors and the running errors.
We did have a season where we didn't win a single game, didn't we?
Oh.
We did have a season where we won the championship too, though. So.
Yeah, but we did have one where we had a perfect record.
Dude, they put us there. We were but we were competing against, honestly, ex-major leaguers at that point,
And kids.
Oh, and kids. Yeah.
For real ex-major leaguers.
Yes.
And kids. I'm pretty sure I could still go yard.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, my gosh.
Just stop.
You guys don't – hey – you guys have a couple of years to wait till I can join you in the old over 50 league.
In the over 50 league? Well, I've got a few years before I can join that too.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
I tell you what I am surprisingly good at is axe throwing.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
You were throwing axes. I did that last night. It's kind of a new thing. We had these escape rooms for a while popping up all over the place. Now you've got these axe throwing places popping up all over the place.
Dude, do they serve alcohol there? Because that seems like a mistake. I mean, it's one thing if you're at Topgolf, but another thing to be throwing axes at people, man.
Yep. No, I totally agree. And there was no alcohol. At least the one I went to over in Orlando, there was no alcohol being served that way.
Okay. All right.
Which did make me feel a little safer because there was kids in there, and there was, the guy next to me. He was going a little loose and fast with his axe throwing. It was,
two-arming it. Was he?
Not that fast. Chris, my wife and I, we were kind of taking turns. I'd throw one, she'd come up and throw another one, and he was just kind of run up, get it, boom. Wow, okay.
Did you throw the hatchet?
So this particular place, and I'll give my shot. It was Bigfoot axe throwing in Orlando. Great place, great time. If you get a chance, go do it. They had a two-handed axe that you use and throw over your head. It was a big boy, a little longer handle, and then they have the shorter hatchet, which I've got one in my garage kind of thing, with the wooden handle. That's a one-handed. But I've never been really good at like darts or pool or billiard or bowling, any of those kind of aiming and doing things. But this, I was like, man, it was pretty easy. Like from the first try, I was like, okay, I like this.
Yeah. So how is axe throwing relative to like swords? We got an ex-Ray who says he's going to have to teach Trevor Bauer how to properly use a sword.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing a celebration right.
Susugo.
Yoshi Suga, which I don't understand how he's getting any playing time with Pujols there because they kind of play the same position, and they're kind of landlocked. They're really not athletic enough to play anything anywhere else. So I mean, seriously, that's not a knock on them, and that's just the case. I mean, Albert Pujols is either going to DH or play first base. That's it. You're not going to see him playing shortstop or center field or anything else. So Susugo
there's
there.
a conversation on how to put an imaginary sword away. I mean, you put it. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you because I play the air guitar, and I'll show you my collection if you like. It's it's back over here. It's fantastic, But dude, I can play an air guitar like nobody, and no one's gonna tell me. No one's gonna tell me I'm doing it wrong. I guarantee you that, man. Not Slash, not Sammy Hagar. No one's gonna tell me I'm playing my air guitar wrong.
Just for the record, if you go back and you watch our vlog on Super Bowl Sunday, you'll see the Chiefs air guitar skills.
Yes,
legendary.
They are on full display.
But he didn't get the scene with me doing that with the Slash with the imitation though. I had the hat on at one point.
Oh, that's right. You did have the hat.
It didn't make
so let's shift gears and talk about the Lightning playoffs a little bit here. We still 2-1, Pooh Bear?
Still 2-1. Minute left minute and 20 seconds left
in the game.
In the game, the crowd's going crazy. The Hurricanes still have their goalie in because it is in the Carolina's zone here. So if they can clear this, they're going to pull the goalie, get an extra.
I love it when they pull the goalie. That's like one of my favorite moves in hockey.
Yeah, well, the Lightning's forecheck is on right now, so they're having a hard time getting the goalie out. He just hit it off. Full minute left.
So the Lightning, they beat the Florida Panthers. What was that?
Florida Panthers.
That was 4-2, right? That was a 4-2 series.
Yeah.
And that was an opponent that we had a difficult time with during the regular season. But I will tell you what, other than the 2 games we lost, we made them. I mean, we skunked them 4-0 in the last game. But Pooh Bear, you say the Carolina Hurricanes have a little bit more to bring to the table than our previous opponent.
Yeah, they're the number 1 seed in the division. They're probably a little more talented than the Panthers. The Panthers remind me of the Lightning about 3 years ago, right? So they have a young core, very talented, just haven't had a whole lot of experience yet. They've sprinkled in some veterans, a couple of ex-Lightning players from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep wanting to call them the Panthers because this is Carolina and Panthers, and then just talking about the Panthers. These Hurricanes, who just lost, game over. Nice. The Hurricanes are a little more built like the Lightning. They've that's a hockey horn.
I know that's what happens when you're quickly trying to grab a sound effect, man.
You just take whatever you can get.
Yeah.
So they're built a little more like the Lightning. They play a very finesse style of game. They're really quick. They're really quick. Not as physical. The Panthers are really physical. More like sounds closer. A little hockey horn. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a tighter series as far as the amount of goals scored. Probably not going to see this game only had 3 goals. I don't think you're going to see many more than that most nights during the series. Fortunately for the Lightning, they're the away team, but they just stole one from the Hurricanes. So hopefully that's going to play out well to their advantage.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Winning the first game on the road, that's a big deal.
So, hey, this is the defending champs. I mean, they know what they're doing. They know what it looks like. They've got the advantage. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. What's the status on Kucherov?
He's playing well. Right now, the Lightning's only injury concern is Hedman, Alexander Hedman, or Victor Hedman, defenseman. He's hobbling. He's something's wrong with him. They're not disclosing it. He's still playing, but he's not playing at the level that we're used to seeing him play at. So we'll see what goes on with him. He may need to sit down for a couple of nights to get right, but it may be one of these things where, and hockey's so weird about their injuries. It may be one of these things where he's going to need off-season surgery, and you can't damage whatever it is any more than it already
is. Yeah.
So let it go. You're just not. He's at 80%, and he'll have off-season surgery. That's just me speculating. I don't know that for sure. I'm just things like that happen all the time.
All right, so Poober, I need to bring Chief in real quick for some in-depth analysis. Chief, can you tell us what's going on with the NBA playoffs?
How are the
working? My report on that is a work in progress.
So what you're saying is you don't have anything to report.
Dude, I got nothing on the. I can't even come up with something witty to say. Nothing.
I don't even know who's in. I don't know who's in.
I didn't even know the NBA playoffs are going. Are they going on? Are they really going on right now?
I believe
it should be. It should be.
No idea.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, listen, gentlemen, it's time for our new favorite segment, Pooh Bear.
Yes.
Play that clip.
I love that.
All right, so we got a couple this week on You Can't Fix Stupid. Did any of you guys see the story? This is coming out of Florida, of course. We always get this stupid crap. But the high-speed chase that the Florida Highway Patrol had with a woman who, when they finally get her arrested, is basically naked.
I heard about it.
This is such a Florida thing.
What was she even running from the Highway Patrol for?
I don't remember what that was. Do you have the story?
Yes.
Work in progress.
Wow, this woman is not attractive, by the way.
No, they never are. Anytime you hear a story like this, where you hear, a woman found half naked, your first thought is like, yeah, I want to be there, and then you see the mugshot, you're like, yeah, I'm glad I wasn't there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, the reason for the chase was Grand Theft Auto. Okay. Here's what you need to know. What area of Tampa Bay might you think this was in?
2 words come to mind. Polk County.
You're close.
Oh,
Caliente.
You're close. It's a little north of here. I don't even know if we would call it Tampa Bay, but Hernando County.
Yeah, where the Caliente is. Is that where the nude park is? Do they do the nudist thing up there?
Oh.
Is that in Hernando? I thought that was in Hillsborough County.
I thought it was in Pasco.
Or Pasco County. Yeah, I don't know.
But the Caliente Resort is quite famous.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Okay.
So 24 years old. 24 years old. They driving up to speeds of 110 miles an hour in a stolen 2009 Cadillac. I mean, if I'm going to steal a car, why are you going 2009? I mean, that car's
does that qualify for grand theft? I mean, I'm not sure what the value of the 2009 Cadillac is.
I think it's over 1,000 is grand theft.
Is it over 1,000?
Yeah. I believe 10, so.
And listen, as no shocker to anybody, like there was drugs involved.
No.
There you go.
Can we guess the drug?
It doesn't say. The article.
It's probably not in the story, but I'm guessing it's methamphetamines.
I was going meth as well. But
if in Hernando County, I'm going to have to go with it was most likely methamphetamine. Yeah. What about? How about another one? Did you guys see the story about the drug dealer who got caught because of a fingerprint on some cheese?
Dude, when you're hungry, man. I mean, it's like.
Well, he was trying to sell the cheese, wasn't he?
Yeah, he posted a picture of the cheese on social media,
right?
And somehow they were able to scan his fingerprint from the cheese that ties him to a drug charge or something like that there, and now dude's in jail.
Right. So he took a picture. It was on Facebook Marketplace, I believe. He pretend this battery that's in my hand was the cheese, and he took a picture with his phone similar to this. You see him all the time, and then the police were able to scan his fingerprints that were sitting there.
Dude, I have so many questions.
Hey, I'd like to buy your cheese. Can you meet me outside?
Who's buying cheese on Facebook Marketplace? I mean, it can't be convenient. It can't be convenient either. I mean, go to Publix. All the cheese you want, it's right there. You go in, you go out, man. I mean,
this was in London. This was like in the UK, man.
Okay, I'm sure they have grocery stores in London. It's like you got to arrange a meetup, and then you want to get there early so you can bird dog him and make sure it's not like some serial killer
coming set up.
And he's like, hey man, I got my cheese here. I got my cheese here.
And which are you the brie or the Limburger? I can't remember. I'm just selling both today. I'm not sure which one you're here for.
Oh my God.
Wow. But this is just typical criminal stuff, right? You don't make good decisions when you're already in this kind of mindset.
Last week we talked about the guy who left his cell phone behind. I mean, that's
this is right along those same lines.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Yeah, this dude, by the way, cocaine, heroin, ketamine, all kinds of stuff.
Ketamine, that's a new one for me.
I don't even know what ketamine is.
It's a depressant.
Okay.
Oh,
there you go. Hey, and Pooh Bear, you ran across another one this week.
Oh, the mayoral candidate who doesn't want police but needed them after his car was stolen.
That's the defund the police. He's the in Atlanta.
Defund the police guy. He's running for mayor of Atlanta against Keisha Knight Bottoms.
Right. He had his car stolen.
Yep, and he had his car stolen. So first thing he does, help police.
Did he call the police?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
that kind of contradicts his platform.
Well, and to be fair, I don't want to. I'm not going to be one of these people that categorizes everyone the same. His platform is not necessarily to get rid of the police; it's to defund them and to kind of demilitarize. He doesn't want the military grade weapons going to police, which happens quite a bit. They get these grants from the federal government; they're able to buy these things. He's one of these more training, more social officers out there, not just having policemen respond to mental disturbances, things like that. The sun's kind of getting to me. Anyway, so I don't want to miscategorize the guy, but it's odd and funny when you have that as your platform of defunding the police and you're trying to be the mayor, which is the boss of the police, and you get your stuff stolen.
You don't want to categorize the guy, but we're going to put him in the category of you can't fix stupid.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's definitely a.
I'm okay with it.
I'm just saying. It's just a lot of people turn that around and say, "Oh, he doesn't want to completely get rid of the police. He just wants to do X, Y, and Z."
Well, listen, I don't think the point of the segment "You Can't Fix Stupid" had nothing to do with the politics of it. It Correct. Just had to do with like, hey, this is somebody who wants to reform or do something with the police.
Correct.
Yet has come to recognize their need. I'm pretty sure, though, by the way, he probably wasn't driving a 2009 Cadillac.
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. So, a couple of things to finish off here. Chief, you were sharing with us in the green room right before we came on that we lost Tarzan this week.
Oh, we did, man.
So the guy, Joe Lara, who played Tarzan, in all things, dies in a plane crash.
Yeah, he died in a plane crash in Tennessee. He was in I think it was called The Epic Adventures of Tarzan. It was live air in the late 60s. I saw it in reruns, and I remember watching the show in reruns. I loved Tarzan, back in the day. It was fun to watch him. And anyway, yeah, exactly. Or actually, my favorite part of Tarzan though was swinging on the vines, which now I realize are not vines; they're just ropes from trees. No one actually does that. But anyway, I thought that was really cool as a kid. Yeah, man, unlucky. But I looked at this guy's. That they put out the what his work though it was for the the last 50 years or whatever. So he was in Tarzan, a lot of Tarzan, by the way. Tarzan in Manhattan, I never saw that. Tarzan, The Epic Adventures, American Cyborg, Steel Warrior, and then Steel Frontier. I don't know. I guess he did a lot of view stuff. I guess. But anyway, I was still a fan though of as a kid. In the jungle. That
if I remember right, those were the early Saturday morning serials we got to see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're a little bit older than me.
I'm definitely,
and because I've never seen Tarzan.
Oh my gosh, dude! And there's another version of Tarzan that's even older than that one. I can't remember that guy's name. It's right off the top of my head now, but
It's one of those properties, kind of like a Batman, where they just redo, the same story and just keep putting it back out there.
The problem with the story of Tarzan, it's like the introduction is a good story. His parents, he loses his parents in a plane crash, gets raised by apes, and then he winds up going back to London where he doesn't really fit in. So he goes back to the jungle. Anyway, but the thing is like after that, there's only so many bad guys in the jungle. I mean, it's like,
and they're all poachers.
They're all poachers. It's like, oh man, Jim's here again. We got another poacher. I guess we'll call the lions in this time. It's a variation. Kind of falls off. So it's the same story over and over again. But I don't think there's a series there, but there's a story.
I just thought of a great idea for a new series for this show.
Uh-oh.
It's called "Tell Me You're Old Without Telling Me You're Old."
What was his situation where I responded with that? I don't even remember.
And it features the chief, of course. So listen, here's the deal. So I'll set this up. So this past week, as promised, the main event, after bringing you our Chicken Wars segment, we, as promised, we said we were going to do the Spicy Chicken Wars. And so look for that. That short is coming out, Pooh Bear, late in the weekish.
Yeah, I plan on doing some editing tomorrow on that one. If I can get T.S.G to send me his footage. T.S.G, if you're watching, send me your footage.
Okay, so sometime later in the week, you'll see our take on spicy chicken. It was a blazing experience
for some
of us more than others. So to set that up, so I think it was Thursday night. The four of us sat down. We ate chicken sandwiches from 6 of the local favorites. You're gonna have to watch the short to find out which one was our favorite and which one won. But the spicy chicken hits some of us harder than others.
I knew it would. I knew it would. I manned up and I was there.
There was a different kind of 3-alarm fire at the fire department on Friday.
Oh man.
Dude, Friday morning was rough. I did a lot of preventive maintenance too. I was the Rolaids. I knew, I tried the milk. I tried the chocolate. I tried a lot of things that I've heard of, and dude, no lie, man. I was miserable Friday morning.
So, and B-Love, you've never even tried one of these spicy chicken sandwiches.
Dude, that was my very first time ever having a spicy chicken sandwich from anywhere.
And see, I would think you would be the one that would have a problem. I know it's not going to be me because I've built up a tolerance to these things. I eat these things, like most people.
Dude, now here's the thing. So I like spicy, and you'll hear us talk about this in the short. But I was getting a little moist sweat, right? But man, back in the day, like let me take you back to like 2009, maybe 2010. We had a restaurant in our area. It was a Giordano's Pizza. Do you guys remember that right in front of the mall? Now it changed to Leroy Selman's, now Glory Days or whatever.
Yes.
But I had a networking group that I would meet with there every Wednesday for lunch. And they had a buffalo chicken sandwich there that I ate every single Wednesday for lunch. And it was fire. I'm telling you, and this is how I judge a good chicken wings almost, or like a good buffalo chicken sandwich. If I sweat just a little bit from eating that thing, it was hot enough. So that's my take.
One day we'll tell the story of how I tricked Chef Javi on the mango habanero chicken wings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Does he know yet?
No, he does not know. I haven't told him. If he knows, it's not because of me. Oh man,
that was funny.
Now that was funny.
that was funny. That was funny. Those are hot. I don't know. I think is that place even in business still?
Oh yeah, there's still a chain. I don't know if the one in Riverview or that one is still in business.
Not.
But okay, but the one on 301 is, and there's several other ones around town.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we're out of time.
That's it. Let's go celebrate the Rays and the Lightning. Boom. It's over.
Yeah.
Not over.
You know, it's sad that the Chief never called out the Toronto Raptors while they were here.
Right?
Because we might have had another title in Tampa Bay.
And the Blue Jays left town.
They go. We ran them right out of town.
Yep, that's right.
You
Rays
go back to Buffalo.
Rays closed that stadium.
So.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. We've had a good time because we're just a bunch of goofballs doing this as a second living.
Well, thank God our first living works because
for real, right? We would fail. Yeah, do us a favor.
I got a K1 that says this is worth it, so let's do it.
All right. Do us a favor, press that subscribe button. That's going to help grow this channel bigger than it already is. It's monstrous right now, but it'll get bigger. Like this video if you like it, and make sure you click the bell icon that will alert you every time we upload an episode or a funny short like this should be coming this week to you with Spicy Chicken Sandwich Wars. We'll be back next week to do this again at 7 o'clock on Sunday because that's what we do. We'll see you then. Say goodnight, Chief.
Good night.